My comment's a little more personal. I am currently 14 months removed from confinement. I've been confined, caged on 4 separate occasions in my life, going back to the 80s. I have committed a total of 24 armed robberies. At one confinement, I served 10 calendars and was released, and fueled by a substance use disorder, I committed some more armed robberies, and I served 17 calendars after that. If I had the opportunity to sit with those innocent individuals who I threatened for their money, if I had that opportunity to sit one-on-one with them and share with them my remorse, it would be powerful. However, I don't think that in and of itself would change or move the needle, right? If I had that opportunity, it would be the result of some other work that I had to do, some other personal responsibility and accountability I had to take in order for me to get there. And so when I think of restorative justice and the impact that it can have, I lean toward that dynamic of the personal responsibility that the individual has to take, and as a community, how can we support them in doing that, right? So I like your term pre-entry, say it again? Pre-ventry, right? Right, because ultimately, like the doctor said, we want to engage in transformative justice, right? Transforming the causes of the harm in the first place, and so that we don't have the need for restorative justice. But because I work in workforce development, I'm on the back end of that, helping individuals rebuild their lives. All right, I'm more inclined to lean into that aspect of this wide breadth of restorative justice. If individuals can be supported and educated and stabilized, I am of the belief that the individuals who have caused harm can be organized and mobilized to be the force to bring about that transformative justice. All right. And so having an opportunity to work in workforce development and stabilizing individuals. There's a stat that says that the individual with stable employment is 50% less likely to commit a crime, right? I see it all day. The doctor talked about the survival mindset, right? And Cliff did too, talking about this mindset of survival that we've been in our entire life, right? Nothing combats that but stability. And a 3-letter word called a job helps with that. J-O-B. And if an individual doesn't have any marketable skills, then training so that they can have a job, right? That only not transforms the individual, but it transforms their families, right? Because now this individual can hold his head up. He has a sense of wherewithal with himself, a sense of dignity. He can meet the demands of himself, but now also his family. So now he's present for his family. So there's a restorative element to restoring the family. And then if he's informed, and I think this is where we come in, and this was my experience, again, as I told you about my experience with restorative justice circles and with the prison abolitionist praxis. If he's informed, then they become an agent for change. But it all begins with stability. Stability. So I just lean to that. I would take my life as an example. I'll give you an example of my life. And my life is no outlier, right? I'm sitting with individuals who, in this room, who've experienced protracted confinement and have overcome it and have now been change agents. But as I told you, I was released about 14 months ago. I stood there with a box in my hand, 55 years old. The sum total of my whole life was in this box. I was able to find employment. Well, initially I went to a transitional home. And so that gave me my initial a level of stability, right? Because now I didn't have to be in survival mode, right? Because when I'm in survival mode, there's a predatorial piece that comes with that, right? The community is not, on my mind, right? But because I wasn't, and because I was stable, I was able to then find employment. I found employment rather quickly. Finding employment, I got my first place, right? The first time in my life, at 55 years old, that a bill was in my name, right? But all that began with just being stable, a J-O-B. On a more personal level, prior to getting confined, I was engaged, right? And of course, during 17 years, you get estranged and go in different ways, right? And I was able to reconnect with my love, right? And because I was stable and had employment, I was able to build a family and get married. That's my wife right there, Denise.
Woo! Wow.
And because I realized that, again, I need more skills, I'm enrolled at Roosevelt University to get my bachelor's degree. As I told you, I sit on the board. I work with UUPMI. I try to give back and be a change agent. But again, all of that has at its foundation stability and a J-O-B, a job. And so, why am I saying that? Well, I'm saying that because when we look at restorative justice, we again, it's a very broad and comprehensive framework, but and it with many areas, because harm is in many areas, and restoration also is in many areas. I'm just of the belief that those who have committed harm, if they are invested in with resources and support and education, they would be the leaders in this movement to transforming our society. And so, and I'm saying this because we may need your support in that endeavor, right? We need your support through education and through support, so then we can build some change agents who can then be organized and mobilized to do the work and transforming and removing these barriers and these things that cause the initial harm. So that is my presentation. And I'm looking forward to you guys' questions as well. Katrina?
Keith, thank you so much. UUPMI organizes better than any community organization I've encountered. So if you guys are here and you're a part of the Unitarian Universalist Prison Ministry of Illinois, shout out to you. Great work. So we're going to transition, give everyone a moment to take a breath and write down their questions.